another Thoughtseize, 2 copies of Surgical Extractions, along with 2 copies of Meddling Mages. So he has plenty of cards that he can board in for this matchup, and plenty of cards that he can take out. Swords to Plowshare being at the top of the list, along with probably a Stoneforge package. You don't really need that in this matchup.
Absolutely, I would definitely at least trim. I think that you'd probably just take the whole Stoneforge package out.
Yeah.
Particularly because he has main deck 3-power creatures, and he can attack with his Dark Confidants and things like that. On the other side of the board, Jacob Baugh. I think we're all fairly used to the 4-ofs list in the Storm decks. The non-4-ofs being 1 Tendrils, 1 Ad Nauseam, 1 Past in Flames, and 2 Cabal Therapy, plus lands, of course. His sideboard has a couple of interesting choices. Ignorant Bliss, to be able to avoid discard spells. We'll see if he has brought that in to be able to deal with Lauren Nolan's Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions of Kozilek. Abrupt Decay, being able to take down Meddling Mages and the like, as well as Chain of Vapor, being able to deal deftly with various 2-power wizards on Lauren's side of the board.
Yeah, Abrupt Decay going to be a key card for Jacob going forward if he does make top 8, because we know we have been seeing Chalice of the Voids running around. Abrupt Decay, very good against Chalice of the Void.
Absolutely.
As one of those cards that can be a potential hoser for Ad Nauseam.
And of course, the other card that Jacob has to bring in, should he choose to bring in the Abrupt Decays, is the Tropical Island.
Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in some combination of Abrupt Decay and Carpeted Flowers along with the Tropical Island. I'm not sure if he saw Meddling Mage in Game 2, but that is one of those cards, you don't want to have no answers to a card like Meddling Mage and just lose to Meddling Mage naming Tendrils of Agony, for example. So I think Abrupt Decay pretty much has to come in. Same thing with the Massacre, perhaps.
Yes, Massacre is a very interesting card. He's got 1 of in the sideboard. We'll bring up Massacre for you. It's another one of the free spells from Nemesis. I think people at this point are mostly used to Submerge. Perhaps to a lesser extent, cards like Revered Silence. Possibly, if you play Pauper, you know of Invigorate from Mercadian Masks. Massacre, not so much. People don't remember that card. It is basically an infest that you can cast for free if you control a swamp and your opponent controls a plains.
So Jacob starts off with a Gitaxian Probe here. He unfortunately had to mulligan to 5, and now he's contending with double Meddling Mage. However, it looks like Lauren kept a hand of 2 Meddling Mage, Stoneforge Mystic Snapcaster, Thoughtseize Deathrite Shaman, but only 1 plains.
Yeah, interesting.
So, interesting keep there from Nolen. Obviously, he's got a lot of his sideboard cards.
And he also knows the math in his deck a lot better. I'm sure that he's sure that the number of blue sources in his deck he knows is much higher than having to mulligan down to 6 against the combo deck.
Yeah, and I'm sure Lauren kind of knows the matchup. He obviously plays the deck very often, but still, very risky hand, especially when your opponent who's on the play, he's going to notify you that he's going to be on mulligan first. Do you really want to risk letting him draw out of his mulligan because you're either mana screwed or mana stalled? I mean, you don't even have a blue source. It's not even a sackland. It's a basic plains.
Yeah.
So very risky keep there from Lauren. So, but let's see if it pays off for him.
So Ponder from Jacob Baugh is going to find him another Ponder, a Brainstorm, and a Lion's Eye Diamond. Pondering his decision here with the Ponder. He's going to keep them on top and gain the Brainstorm, deciding whether or not he wants to just keep it there. I think that that's the correct decision. And Lauren is going to discard down after being unable to find another land.
So I think Jacob was a little nervous there about maybe he wants to get as much value out of his Brainstorm as possible, but knowing that those Carpeted Flowers aren't really very good. He would love to be able to sack them or shuffle them away. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a sack land, but he does have a Ponder.
And so this is pretty much immediately just going to be a pay a blue mana, shuffle your deck, draw a card.
Which is good because you're basically drawing a card and getting rid of those Carpeted Flowers.
Yes, very, very good for Jacob. Not so good for Lauren, who's still looking for both a black source and a blue source.
The good news for Jacob, though, he does have Dark Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, so if he draws an Infernal Tutor, he'll be able to get the namesake of his deck Ad Nauseam and start to go off.
Yes.
And he draws a card for the Taxian Probe, and it is a Ritual, unfortunately, just another Ritual, so pretty much the same cards he saw before. And Lauren still does not draw a second mana, it's a Dark Confidant. So
Yeah,
Lauren's forced to discard yet again.
Not a second mana, and also not a force of will, so he's still just pretty much naked.
Yeah, let's see. There's
There's
an
the ad
ad
nauseam off the top,
nauseam.
so
Wow.
had it. Didn't even need to search for it.
So Jacob not going to worry about the force of will. He attacks me probe last turn. He knows he has to go for it before those meddling mages come into play. He can't afford to give Lauren another turn to try to draw a land. So generating 5 mana here with those 2 dark rituals are going to cast ad nauseam. In response, will he sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond? No, looks like he's just going to cast it.
Not yet. He wants to be able to discard his hand should he turn up an Infernal Tutor here.
So, no, it looks like he did.
Oh, he is going to do it here.
So in response, he's going to sack it for, or no.
Okay.
No, so it looks like he didn't sacrifice it. So takes 1, goes to 16, stays at 16.
Land. Carpet of Flowers.
13.
12. He was at 15, right?
11.
Sorry, didn't mean to upset you there. We revealed a Carpet of Flowers, a Cabal Tutor, or a Cabal Ritual, and an Infernal Tutor among the other cards that we turned up earlier. Trying to count to see if he has enough mana or enough to go off already, just so that he doesn't have to get any more cards. But he's at 11, and Lauren does not have burn spells at the ready.
No reason not to keep going a little bit more.
Some more lands. There's a Brainstorm. That'll be able to find him some new stuff if he so chooses. Duress.
There you go. Okay, at this point, I think it's safe to
go
stop.
off at 9. I think that, yeah, finding the other Lion's Eye Diamond to be able to have the requisite amount of mana.
Yeah, he has more than enough Storm, and he should have more than enough mana as well. Looks like he's just counting up and making sure the Storm count is correct.
Storm's at 5 right now, correct?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, currently at 5. 6.
Yeah, he's going to have more than enough Storm.
Yeah, he also has a Cabal Ritual, which he does have Threshold, so we'll generate him 5 mana. He plays the land for the turn.
Now, Lauren did have one draw step that Jacob did not see what he got.
Yes, but Jacob does have a Duress, so he can lead with Duress here.
Yep.
He's going to cast Cabal Ritual. Still can cast the Duress first. No reason not to. You have more than enough mana.
Just to see where he's at. He also has the Cabal Ritual if Lauren happened to have something creature-based that could interact with him here, although neither Vendilion Click nor Notion Thief are able to be cast right now.
So Duress resolves, takes the Thoughtseize, but it's really more just for the information. Now casts Infernal Tutor, and in response, he sacrifices the Lion's Eye Diamond. And rather than force Jacob to go through the motion, Lauren just concedes the match.
So Jacob's going to be 7-0 with Ad Nauseam. Our Storm player is probably going to be able, almost certainly going to be able to draw in if he so chooses next round at 7-0 in this 8-round tournament. Lauren, not dead yet. He's at 5-1-1. And at least some number, if not all, of the 6-1-1s will be able to go into the top 8 later on. But for now, Jacob Baugh is the winner of our round with Lauren Nolen. Esper Deathblade going 0-2 in this round.